In the eyes of the law in El Paso, Texas, or Las Vegas, Nevada, this tree is a fugitive. If you try to plant a new one in certain zones today, you are technically breaking a city ordinance. But why? Is it an invasive poison? Is it a dangerous narcotic? No. It is a tree that produces a berry sweeter, richer, and more complex than the $8 plastic box of tart blackberries you just bought at the grocery store. It is a biological powerhouse packed with resveratrol, the very same holy grail antioxidant found in red wine that doctors tell you to consume for longevity. But unlike wine, this tree offers it to you without the alcohol and without the price tag. We are talking about the mulberry, or Morus, the golden tree that once built empires along the Silk Road and was protected by emperors. Yet modern society has declared war on it. We are eradicating a free, abundant superfood to protect our concrete. Why did we trade a tree of abundance for an empty parking spot? Why is a plant that beats the blackberry in almost every nutritional metric considered a public enemy? The answer isn't just about fruit. It reveals a disturbing truth about how we prioritize sterile streets over our own health. Welcome to Ancestral Soil. Today, we defend the outlaw. Let's find out why this tree is banned. To understand the absurdity of banning this tree, we have to look at how the ancients treated it. They didn't see a nuisance, they saw gold. For thousands of years, the mulberry was the engine of the Silk Road. The Roman Empire and the dynasties of China didn't just plant these trees, they guarded them with the threat of death. The leaves were the fuel for the silkworm, creating the fabric that clothed emperors and funded armies. But the most fascinating chapter of this tree's history comes from a royal blunder in the 17th century. King James I of England, envious of the French silk industry, ordered 10,000 mulberry trees to be planted across London. He wanted to build a silk empire of his own. But in his haste, he made a critical botanical error. He didn't consult the experts, he simply ordered the trees that produced the best-tasting fruit. He imported thousands of black mulberries, Morus nigra. The fruit was dark, staining, and incredibly delicious to humans. But there was one problem. The silkworm is a picky gourmet. It prefers the delicate leaves of the white mulberry, Morus alba. The silkworms refused to eat the tough, coarse leaves of the king's black mulberries. The project was a catastrophic failure. The British silk industry collapsed before it even began. But this failure became a gift to history. While the industry died, the trees survived. Because the black mulberry is incredibly long-lived and resilient, those mistakes grew into massive, gnarled giants that still stand in gardens across England today. King James failed to produce fabric, but he accidentally bequeathed a legacy of flavor. He proved, inadvertently, that while the white mulberry is for industry, the black mulberry is for the soul. So, we have a tree that kings fought to cultivate, a tree that defined global trade. How did we go from royal gardens to city bans? How is a tree that beats the blackberry in almost every nutritional metric considered a public enemy? The answer isn't just about fruit. It reveals a disturbing truth about how we prioritize sterile streets over our own health. In the modern city, a tree is not viewed as a food source. It is viewed as a decoration, and the mulberry is a terrible decoration. It commits the ultimate sin in the suburbs. It is messy. When a female mulberry tree is fully loaded, it rains down abundance. The berries drop onto the sidewalk, creating purple stains on the pristine concrete. They fall onto parked luxury cars. They stick to the shoes of pedestrians. To the modern urban planner, this isn't free food. It is biological litter. We have become a society that would rather pay for fruit in a plastic cup than step over it on the sidewalk. So, city planners thought they were clever. To solve the mess problem, they started planting only male trees, the fruitless varieties. They wanted the shade without the stain. But nature always strikes back. By planting millions of male clones, they created a botanical catastrophe. These male trees don't drop fruit, but they release massive, invisible clouds of highly allergenic pollen. They created a pollen tsunami that turned cities like Tucson and Las Vegas into allergy nightmares. This is the irony of the ban. In cities like El Paso, the mulberry was outlawed not because it was poisonous, but because our attempt to sterilize nature backfired. We traded the fruit for the sneeze. But even if you live where it's legal, you won't find it in the grocery store. And this is the second part of the erasure. The mulberry defies the industrial supply chain. Unlike the commercial blackberry, which is bred to be hard, tart, and durable, the mulberry is structurally fragile. It has almost no skin. It is pure, concentrated juice held together by a prayer. Once you pick a ripe mulberry, the clock starts ticking. It begins to ferment within hours. If you put a crate of them on a truck, they will crush under their own weight before they reach the next town. They cannot be barcoded, boxed, or stockpiled. Because Big Ag cannot monetize it, they ignore it. Because the city cannot control it, they ban it. We have erased this tree from our diets simply because it refuses to conform to the logistics of a truck or the aesthetics of a driveway. But while we worry about dirty sidewalks, we are walking past a pharmacy. By canceling the mulberry, we aren't just losing a sweet treat. We are throwing away a medicine cabinet that rivals the best pharmaceuticals we have. Let's strip away the stigma and look at the biochemistry. We are constantly told that red wine is the key to longevity because of a miracle compound called Resveratrol. We are told to drink a glass a day to protect our hearts. But to get that benefit, you have to ingest alcohol and sugar. The black mulberry offers you a cleaner path. It is packed with resveratrol and anthocyanins, the deep purple pigments that act as rust-proofing for your cells. It provides the cardiovascular protection of a fine Cabernet Sauvignon, but without the hangover and without the liver damage. And unlike the commercial blackberry, which forces you to chew through hard, gritty seeds that get stuck in your teeth, the mulberry is structurally superior. It has no hard seeds. It possesses a melting texture, a burst of honey-sweet juice that vanishes on the tongue. It is biologically designed for pleasure. But if you think the fruit is the prize, you are missing the bigger picture. The berry is just the bait. The real power is hidden in the leaves and the soil. This tree holds a weapon against one of the biggest killers of the modern world, diabetes. The leaves of the mulberry contain a rare alkaloid called DNJ, 1-deoxynogerrimicin. When brewed as a tea, this compound acts like a gatekeeper in your gut. It inhibits the enzymes that break down sugars, effectively blunting the insulin spike after a meal. While Big Pharma races to create synthetic drugs to manage blood sugar, this tree has been producing a natural inhibitor for thousands of years. And finally, we have to dig deeper. If you were to take a shovel and expose the roots of this tree, you would find something startling. The roots are not brown or gray. They are a vivid, shocking, bright yellow. This is the golden tree. In traditional medicine, this golden root bark, sang by P, is legendary. It is used to clear heat from the lungs and treat respiratory conditions. So look at what we are banning. We have a fruit that protects the heart, a leaf that regulates sugar, and a golden root that clears the lungs. It is a complete, self-contained hospital growing in the dirt. And the most rebellious thing you can do is to plant one. But be smart. Do not plant the fruitless male trees that cities hate. You don't want the pollen, you want the prize. Search specifically for a grafted female mulberry tree. Look for varieties like the Illinois everbearing or the dwarf black mulberry. These are not illegal, they are the solution. And when harvest time comes, you will understand why the industry really fears this plant. With a blackberry bush, you are a servant, picking tiny berries one by one, scratching your arms on thorns for an hour just to fill a small bowl. With the mulberry, you harvest like a king. Here is the secret technique. You don't pick them. You spread a clean tarp or a white sheet on the grass beneath the canopy. You reach up, grab the main branch, and you give it a single violent shake. In seconds, it rains.
Hundreds of ripe black jewels fall from the sky at once, filling your buckets in an instant. It is a level of abundance that feels almost criminal in a world of artificial scarcity. You will have so much fruit, you won't know what to do with it. You will make wine, you will make jam, you will dry them like raisins, and you will be forced to do something that modern society has forgotten how to do: share with your neighbors. This tree destroys the illusion that food must be expensive, difficult, and packaged in plastic. It proves that with the right roots in the ground, abundance is actually free. So, let the city keep their concrete. You keep the gold. Dig a hole, plant the legacy, and watch it grow. If you are ready to reclaim your food sovereignty, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Welcome to Ancestral Soil. We are digging up the past to feed the future. And make sure you ring the notification bell. In the next video, we are hunting down a vine that grows meat. You heard that right, a vegetable that tastes like bacon. You do not want to miss it. See you in the garden.